Hey, this is Frank at the RV shop here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and today I have this beautiful 2024 Renegade 40VBH Verona. We're going to go through it. I'm going to do a walkthrough and orientation, basically a quick start guide on this coach so you can get up and running with your new coach if you're fortunate enough to be getting your hands on this. Let's get into it. We're going to go around the outside first, and then we will look at the inside. Okay, so on the outside, of course, in the front you have your latches to open your hood, basically like that. You do left and right, and then you can pull right here and the hood will tilt forward. Normally you want to get this serviced at a Freightliner shop. However, you will be popping the hood usually to, the main reason would be to top off your windshield washer fluid. See that reservoir right there? Other than that, the rest of the stuff is mainly Freightliner serviced. The other thing we have out here, of course, we have our entry door right here. Entry door with screen door attached. Now these two bays here are storage, cargo holds. This one features an outlet right there. So you got a 110 outlet. That's your air hose that connects on the other side. And these three weird looking contraptions, those are slide locks. Typically you're not going to use those unless you're having some kind of issue with your slide. Typically they would not be used. Your TV out here, now this is mounted fixed. It does not pull out, so keep that in mind. If you start to get to tugging on it, it will break something. You got a JBL sound bar and a Samsung Smart TV. Now if you connect a cord to that outlet, you can run it through that cap. That cap removes to run cords and whatnot out through there. Now we have our cushions. Those cushions go on the, if you make the dinette into a bed, those are what fill the gap in between. These other two compartments are storage. Then of course we have our hitch back here. That is a 2 5/16 ball. There's a 2-inch on the other side. Does have a 7-way for a trailer, and of course that silver plug is for a Voyager camera. So if you have a stacker trailer with a Voyager camera system, you can view that on the dash upstairs, or inside, I mean. On this side is our Shore power cord. This is it's on a reel. It's a manual pull-out power retract using that button. Then we have our automatic transfer switch with surge guard built in. You do want to use a surge protector on the pedestal though, where you plug this Shore power cord in, because that will protect this thing from getting damaged. Because this one right here is like, it'll cost you $1,000 to get one of those replaced at minimum. So protect that one here with a $150 one you put on the pedestal, right? Then we have a 50 to 30 adapter. That's our outside shower sprayer hose that connects further on down the line here. We're going to take a look at. And then that wrench is for your water filter, to change out your water filter. You also have an outlet in there. Then we have our generator, 8,000 watt on-in quiet diesel generator. All the power you need right there. That's got plenty of power. Then here is our wet bay. Those are those two T-handles. That's what you pull to dump your tanks. Black first, then the gray, always. And that actually dumps, here's the connection for that. So you can dump it straight down with an elbow right there, or you can run it out this cap over here. So either place here or there. You do have a monitor right there to monitor your tanks as well as your battery. You got a flush port right there to flush your black tank, cable in. Now normally when you're connected like this right here, see this hose? This is on a reel, so and it's a very long hose. I think it's like 35 feet long. That's your fresh water hose or city water hose. It doubles as both. So if you're connected with this hose to city water at a campground, normally you would be, that green valve would be in the up position. Most of the time it's going to stay in the up position. Really, the only time you're going to put it in the down position is if you want to fill your onboard tank. Like for example, right now our freshwater tank shows it's got 94% in it. Let's say you wanted to top that out before leaving the campground. You were plugged in city water with this hose. You wanted to top it out before you left, and you would just turn that green valve down, and it's going to redirect the city water into the freshwater tank. When it gets to 100, then you put it back to city water, and then you can disconnect. We also, that blue hose that I showed you in that other bay connects right there where the red handle is. And of course our water filter. Then here is our aqua hot system. That reservoir there holds the glycol that circulates throughout the system. Now you will want to get this serviced at least once a year. Make sure you get it serviced by, if you don't bring it to us, bring it to someplace that has a certified aqua hot technician on staff, because you don't want to, this stuff is complicated to service. We send people to school to learn how to do that, so it's not like something you can do in 15 minutes outside your driveway or something. Then in this bay, storage also, but we also have some electronics. There's our inverter / charger, our solar power controller, little monitor. So just be mindful of that stuff. If you store stuff in there, then this bay has our batteries. And you see that bright green, those are lithium batteries. So it's got 300 amp hour lithium Dragonfly cells. So this is a great upgrade on this coach. And of course those other two batteries over here are your engine batteries, so starting batteries. And your air connection for the hose that I showed you on the other side is right there up in the corner. Hope you can see it. And on this side we have our fuel. So fuel goes here. There's another tank on the other side, so 50 and 50 makes 100. You also have depth fluid goes there. And this label, see this label here? This tells you how much air goes in your tires. This is a very important label. This is what you want to go by. So it says here 120 psi in the front, 110 psi on the rear axle, both inner and outer. And here we have, see this button? That's to turn off. This is a disconnect for the engine, for the chassis side, for the Freightliner part of the system. So if the coach is going to be sitting for a long time and it will not be connected to shore power or anything, turn off this power as well as the power in the back for the back RV related stuff. So again, that's only if you're going to be sitting not connected to shore power for a long time. Now I'm talking, when I say long time, I'm talking about like months, okay? Not just because you're going to be sitting there two or 3 days at a campground. Now, this is what the inside of the dash looks like. This is the redesigned 2024 version of this dash. Very nice features. It's all been upgraded. It looks fantastic. Very similar to what the Cascadia chassis looks like. This, of course, is the M2 chassis. And the seats are also been upgraded. As you can see, they're gorgeous, very comfortable, big upgrade. They do have air. See this button here? That's our air. And we'll get more, we'll look at the cab and stuff about when we're done here. So right now we're going to head inside and look at the stuff on the inside. Now, as we come in the coach, first things right off the bat, we have our battery disconnect switch. So as you can see, that is currently on. So we can slide this up and then turn it off if we wanted to. However, right now we're going to be in the bus using it, so we want it on. That disconnects your batteries, your lithium cells that I showed you over there on the other side. Entry step override, that is so this step does not go open and close with the opening and closing of this door. That'll keep it locked out in the locked out position. Then the e-start button, this is if you ever encounter a dead battery. Let's say you went to leave a campground and the engine would not start, dead battery, right? By holding this, it's a momentary switch, so you have to hold it. So one person would hold this while another person cranked the engine, and what this will do is it allow the system to borrow a little bit of electricity from the RV batteries, the lithium cells that we saw, the green ones. Borrow some electricity from that to let the engine start up. Once it starts, the generator on the engine is going to charge the batteries up. So now additionally, we have a fire extinguisher. God forbid you ever need it, but in case you do, there it is. This little control panel has lights. You can turn off all the lights with this one press. That's what interior all on, interior all off. You can extend and retract your awning. You got an awning LED strip that's out there. You can turn it on and off with this. Porch light on and off with that. Cargo lights inside the cargo bays with that. And you can just do, if you just want to turn on and off the ceiling light, you can do it with that. So that's some buttons that you might need right off the bat when you come into the coach. Up here, you have another similar control panel. This is got many of the same buttons, but some additional stuff. So this shade over the bunk, that can be controlled via this panel here. Bunk light, you have these lights over the bunk area, and then you have some accent lights up top. Very pretty coach. Then in this little cubby here, you can see you have an outlet, 110 outlet, as well as USB and USB-C ports, and a little shelf, someplace to put your phone or electronics, maybe a cup of coffee. And this bunk area up top does have a ladder, so this, you can slide it this way if you want to put, you see the two sections, so these will make a bed all the way out here, so huge bed. Then you would lock this in place when you put it all the way out with these locking pins that go through those holes there. See that? Got them on both sides. Now the TV up here is fixed, it does not pull out. This other TV over the entry door, that one does pull out. It's got a strap there that unlocks it. And of course that ladder is to be mounted here to get up in the bunk. This of course pulls out. This makes a huge bed all the way out here. And this dinette makes a bed as well. So remember those cushions I showed you outside in the bay? Those fit over the bed when you put this down. And it's got a little lever here. Just switch it to the left and then push down. And this slides down. I'll put it all the way down. Then you'll have a space there where those cushions will fit. And then you want to put it back. Flip the lever to the right to lock it. And of course the shades, you got day shades and night shades. And they are manual. Up here in this cabinet, that's all the manuals for the Renegade stuff. These are all the manuals for the Freightliner stuff, as well as the generator. Then here we have remotes. We got some touch-up paint, some rubber protectant spray, and then this is storage. And in this cabinet here, we have our power center. So those two boxes on the bottom, those are 110 resettable breakers. Then these are 12 volt automotive style fuses. Here are some helpful numbers. So Don't forget you have this information here. If you ever have an issue, there's your customer service numbers, as well as roadside assistance. This is storage. There is our convection microwave, so you can make popcorn as well as bake a cake in here. This cooktop is induction, so make sure you have induction approved pots and pans if you expect to do any cooking on here. Our sink, it's a single basin but very large sink, and of course our very large refrigerator. In this overhead we have our connections for satellite. See an HDMI and a coax for a converter box, as well as this is our antenna power. We can turn the antenna on and off there. This here, this other button is for the Wi-Fi router. So if you're going to subscribe, I guess I wasn't showing that very well, huh? So so up here we have this little button is for the antenna, TV antenna, off-air antenna. This other little button is for the Wi-Fi router. If you're going to, subscribe to the service through WineGuard, this turns on that system. Of course, our very large refrigerator with ice maker does have locks. And it's got another lock back here. So we're actually in the front for the bottom door. Our bunk area, upper and lower bunks have TVs. I believe those have a DVD player built into them as well. Goes in through the side. Lights, USB and USB-C ports, as well as 110 outlets. And up here in the bedroom area we have lots of closet space. Down below, that's where another receiver box goes for the back area, as well as more drawers, washer, dryer. And then you have another control panel under here, which you can use when you're laying in bed. Little reading lights for each side. See that? It's got a little switch on there. Now you're under this bed. You can lift it to get access to your water tank. Your water tank, there's a handle in there you can pull to dump the contents of the fresh water. That'll dump out below the bus, below the back of the coach, behind the rear axle. Just dump out that water. You can section this off by closing this bedroom door. Just keep in mind, and you're gonna pull it right here, this little handle, but just understand it's got this little strap that keeps it from sliding when you're in motion. Now, additionally, we have another slider door over here. Similar to that one there. Just do this. This one doesn't have a strap. This one you can just pull. It has magnets that kind of hold it. So when you're gonna travel, you're gonna want to strap this in. But it does have magnets that help hold it too. In our bathroom area, there's an electric flush toilet. You have eco that uses a little water than normal, and then a button on the right says empty. So that's to empty the bowl when you're going to travel. Another little control panel. And then our shower. These doors are glass. Make sure you lock the shower doors when you travel. And what I mean by lock is this little lock needs to be engaged. Like right there, it's not locked. It looks like it's locked, but first bump it hits, it's going to pop off. So you have to make sure it makes that sound. Hear that? That's firmly locked. That's not going to come undone when you hit a bump, because otherwise these are real glass panes, so these could break. Air filters are these guys here. These just pop off and they wash. They're washable. So you just wash them, let them air dry, and put them back. You got two of those, that one there and then the one in the bedroom. So we're going to talk about this touchscreen and how this stuff works before we finish up with stuff up here in the front in the cockpit. So the way this is laid out, hopefully there isn't too much glare, but so the way this is laid out, we have these icons on the left side. Each one of these is a different page. So here we're in our home screen. See that? We have a light master. We have temperature readouts for the front and rear. We have status of our tanks. See how much stuff is in our tanks, our fresh, gray, and black tank. We can turn on our water pump. So red is on, that's our on-demand water pump. So you can leave that on if you're using the bus. It's not gonna run unless you open a faucet. And then we have this button here that turns on this turns on the tank heaters. And what the tank heaters are, it's like an electric blanket that's glued to the underside of this gray and black tank to keep them from freezing. The fresh doesn't have one because it's inside here under the bed. But that, should you be in below freezing temperatures, you might want to enable that. This works off of 12 volts to keep them, like I said, to keep them from freezing, keeps them nice and toasty. The other thing we can view here is our batteries, house battery, chassis battery. Normally, you don't have to be concerned yourself so much with voltages here. You just make a look at color. If you see it green, that means the system is happy, right? So if you see them yellow, that means things are getting a little bit low. You might want to plug in or start your generator, get some power to the batteries. Then you have your generator start stop. This is where you can enable and disable the automatic generator start system. So that system will, should you be plugged in at a campground with AC running and the campground loses power, that system, if enabled, will start your generator for you automatically to restore AC power or 110 power. Satellite. I mentioned that it has an onboard in-motion satellite. This is where you turn on the system on the top, the dome. Lighting. So here we have our dedicated lighting page. So here we can turn off all the lights inside. You see, like, these are unaffected. These are exterior lights. Those you're gonna do separately, like our porch light, awning light, cargo light. This electrical page, this just shows us power source. So currently we have, the only power we have coming into the coach is courtesy of the inverter that's currently powering the fridge, because you see it says inverted auto. If we were plugged into shore power, it would say 50 amp shore, or it would say generator if we had the generator running. So this comes in and it goes into our batteries here. You can see the inverter is enabled. Charger is currently not running because we don't have no 110 power coming in. We're not currently plugged into shore power and do not have the generator running. Normally, you're not going to look at this screen. There's no need to unless there's a problem, right? So then we have our HVAC page. So here, so I have the, like you can see right here, I have the Aqua Hot system running, or at least you would think it is, right? It's enabled here. See that? However, there's no Aqua Hot. It's currently, the system is not running. Why is it not running? It tells you up here in yellow. It says no Aqua Hot source. Even though I turned it on here, I asked for Aqua Hot heat. I have not physically turned on the actual Aqua Hot, and that's this over here. So the Aqua Hot system can run on Aqua Hot burner, where it burns diesel, or it can work on electric on 110. But then I would have to start the generator, plug it into shore power to use that part of it. So if I turn on any one of these, then that yellow will go away. So let's do the burner. And you see the yellow writing went away. So now it's the burner's getting lit, and it's going to heat the glycol in the Aqua Hot system. That'll allow us to get heat up in the coach. The other thing we can turn on, we also have heat pumps. So the heat pumps will require 110 power. So you have to start your generator, plug into shore power. You can actually have the Aqua Hot system and the heat pumps running all at the same time. If you needed to get warm up in here in a hurry, it was really cold and needed to get it warmed up quickly. So Then of course we can turn on the cool right there, front AC, rear AC. We also have bay controls, so we could come in here and heat up the bays. Just tell it what temperature you want the bays to be down below. Now you can't cool the bays, but you can heat the bays. Let's turn that back off. Go back to our interior controls. So, and then of course the fan, usually you want to run it in auto mode. I'm going to turn this off though. We don't need it right now. We're about done. Then we have fan control. So there's a fan in the bathroom that we can turn on and off from here. So on this screen, this icon, this is second from the bottom on this list. This is what I call our things that move page. So here you will find slide controls. You will find controls for the awning. You will find the leveling system controls, as well as the shade over the bunk. That's that shade up there, electric shade. So you can control all that stuff here. In order to control this stuff, however, you got to make sure the engine is off. If the engine is running, this stuff will not work. You see there, we can get to our jacks. Operating the jacks is quite simple. All you got to do is hit auto level, and then it starts leveling on its own. Nothing for you to do other than just make sure. If this thing says excessive slope, this is not going to work. It's detecting that you're on too much of an incline, and the auto level system will not work. So typically you want to move the coach or just not use the leveling system at that point. So it does not mean that you have to level it manually. If you manually level it when the system is too far out of level, you could damage the jacks. So don't do that. So anyhow, so we're going to move on to this last icon, which is our settings page. You can set the brightness for the screen, set the time. Cleaning mode will turn off the screen for 15 seconds. Floor plan, well, that's set at the factory. You can change it to Celsius. Aqua diagnostics and switch panel info. Aqua diagnostics is mainly something a technician would use if he was working on it. A problem with the coach, as well as network diagnostics. So, so wireless switches page. These panels that you find in different areas throughout the bus, one in the bedroom, up here in the bunk area. So there's one of them. Let's look on this thing here. So one of them, this one that says Dinette, see the little green symbol that looks like a battery? That's telling you that there's one that has a battery in it. So the other ones are wired into the bus. So if this is correct, that means you can pop this out, and sure enough, this is wireless and it has a little lithium battery. That's a CR2032 battery. So that the system will tell you when the battery is low and needs to be changed, and that'll give you a notification here in this red area. A little triangle will flash, and you'll touch the triangle and it'll say, you know, battery needs to be changed or something to that effect. The other stuff, the last thing on this page is our mobile app. So right there you can scan that QR code or search on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store for this app called Vega Touch Mirror. So download that app and you can follow the directions. Basically you're gonna basically log in with this information here. It's got an ID and a password. So once you log in, you'll be able to basically this entire thing that we saw here, everything on here will now be on your phone. So you'll be able to control it remotely within Bluetooth range. So you do have to be within 20-30 feet. You cannot be, you know, at a restaurant down the street and be controlling your coach. That's not possible with this system. This is just Bluetooth. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about, just go over some minor stuff on the cab. So on the cab, we have ignition, of course, is on the left side. So our engine is running there. Now, whenever you fire this up, you're always going to see that caution come up, and it'll go away. or you can clear it by pressing a button here. That's normal. You'll see the check engine light come on for a period for about 20 seconds and it goes off too. If you haven't run this in a while, then it'll be low on air, so you'll have to wait for air to build up. It'll give you a warning there on the dash saying that the air is low. Up here, most of everything here is fairly self-explanatory. Jacks, again, you can control the jacks from the Firefly screen, the touch control screen in the back, or from here. You can lock your differentials, like if you're on ice and snow and need to some additional traction. AC controls. This is where you flip cameras between the camera for the stacker trailer in the back or the regular rear view from this coach. This radio is also your navigation system. It's built into it, Bluetooth capable, Sirius satellite, and it's also a tablet. You can actually remove it and use it as like a little Android tablet, and it'll magnetically hook up right there. Of course, your transmission is shifted here on this stalk. So hope that makes sense. So when you control this from here, you're just gonna go to the D, neutral, go to the R for reverse. Then you have your parking brake right here. Just pull that and that'll engage the parking brake. Hopefully you understand that already, because normally you're not going to jump into a big coach like this with you never having driven something like this. But if you do, there's lots of helpful videos on driving big trucks like this on YouTube that might be helpful. As right now I'm focusing mainly on the camper or RV side of things. So anyhow, that's all I got for you today on this fantastic coach. My name is Frank with the RV shop in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You can find me on YouTube or simply Google Frank at the Shop and you'll find my YouTube channel, and lots of content like this on the different products we sell. At any rate, I hope you have a fantastic day.